What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Oregon spread playbook in college football 26. Oregon, they're known for a great offense. They've been attacking defenses incredibly for years and years, and this playbook is going to be super popular. One of the more popular true spread playbooks in the game. A lot of 3, 4, and 5 wide stuff, especially from the shotgun. So we're going to go over the formations, concepts, play types, and personnel, and hopefully by the end of the video you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So let's start off with formations. As you can see here, we got mostly shotgun. We got a little bit of pistol. We got some I formation. We got a little wildcat, but the bulk of it's going to be shotgun, so let's just start here. So pay attention to where some of these guys are located. These guys get moved around quite a bit in this playbook, which makes it really fun. Starting off, split slot open. That's a 2-back look with a slot receiver. Then we got wing tight Z. Get like 3 tight ends out there. That's really fun. And then we got deuce. This is a 12 personnel. It's just like your 1-back, 2 tight end. Basic 2x2 look. Then we got more U off trips. This is another 2 tight end look. Then wing slot offset. Guess what? More 2 tight ends. So this isn't all true spread. You got some bigger formations if needed. Now we get into some 11 personnel. It's normal Y off close. Then we got doubles, Y off weak, Y off trips, wing trips weak, trips tight end offset weak. Then we got trio Y flex. That gets your tight end isolated to one side. Those are always fun. Bunch strong offset. I love these quads looks. Technically, it's not a quad. I like to move the halfback to one side. Technically, that makes it a quad, depending on the routes and whatnot. But bunch open offset, and then we get to bunch quads offset. Now, that's a true quads look right there with your 4 skill guys on the close to the line to one side. Very fun. Then we got a double stack. Then we got a stack Y flex. So pay attention to number 18. He's your tight end. He's still out there on the field. Spread Y slot. Then we got trips. This is technically a 4 wide look. We got the weak version of that. But it's got the tight end out there. But if you move the sub package over, notice this is by default. I actually did not change this or anything, but tight end slot was like the default sub package. You're just gonna have to move this around to go to basic packages, and there by default it's a 4 wide look. Then we got empty bunch wide, and then we got empty base trio. So you got a couple of empty formations. So what I like to do is go through here and just kind of look for some of the pre-snap motion mini series. So you got a split slot open, got a little exit motion. They call it shuffle here. I'm actually going to call one. Let's go up against like a random nickel. And to me, it's an exit motion with the halfback, but he just shovels his feet instead. But it's still kind of the same thing. I'm going to go over here and just get a quick, easy play to the halfback out in the flat. Really fun stuff. But that shuffle is really cool. It's a new motion type in this game. So you got a little mini series there with a dig. You got another slot dig. The spot we just called. Let's keep on going. Do we got any more pre-snap motion? What about wing tight Z? These really big formations, not so much. Here is deuce. This is an exit motion. So I guess the exit motion, they like to use that term for like tight end exit motion, where here you got right here, we got a screen, we got a wheel, read Y flat. That's a fun mini series. And then we got a bounce motion. LSU has some of this. You're just moving your halfback over to the other side, and then you're just calling to play after that. I think that's really good against human opponents when they're trying to stack it to one side with their defense. Here we got escort motion. I'm going to call escort the zone split look. This is really cool. You're just getting an extra blocker to help you out there. I think it's just really neat. It's just another way, and then you can use play action off of that. That's the whole point of it, is to give them that same look, and then you can fool them with like PA wheel, or you can use that exit RPO read Y flat, which is really neat. You keep on going. We got, there we go. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. PA slide. That's the whole point of that escort motion, is that escort PA slide. I'm actually going to call that. Let's see if I can make this look. I'm going to force it to the slot receiver. If I can do it. It's this coach cam thing. It's going to drive me nuts. I've said this in every video so far. They need to fix it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, do not use the coach cam for this. Let's see if I can hit the button. See, I hit that way too late. Either way, you got to pay attention to that coach cam and it messing up on you. But either way, that's the whole point of that escort motion. You can get that dude out on a wheel or a flat. Let's keep going. Let's see. We got U off trips. Do we got any here? What about wing slot offset? So we got some double motion. I think this is really cool. I'm going to call this double motion halfback toss. A lot of fun motions in this playbook. Double motion, moving him over, bringing that dude over, and then we could run toss on top of it. Looks like they're going to run zone anyway, so we should have the man's let's say, get a block right there. I was too impatient on the blocking. Either way, really cool. But this is a really cool way to, again, identify man or zone with some of that double motion. You got a little mini series there that looks really fun. We got more of that same slot motion we looked at earlier. We got more jet sweep series right there, which is really neat. Normal Y off close, we got another shuffle series. We got an angle, switch corner, angle, Y wheel. Then we got more exit motion, exit RPO. Then we got a smash, we got a screen. Notice the theme here, a ton of motion, and it's everything is in here you would imagine. Now we got cheat motion, cheat tight end screen. I'm going to call it the tight end screen. That looks a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'm not going to hit the coach cam button. It'll freeze on me. Let's go over here. I think that's just really neat. Really cool. Just a new motion added to the game. So you got a little mini series there. You keep on going. Do we have any more? Let's see. We already looked at that. Then we got some halfback swing motion. Nice little series with a screen, the basic swing. You got a snag to go with it. And then we got basic jet sweep series right there. And we got reload. So this is a new one right here. This is kind of like an empty formation that turns into a one back look. Let's go ahead and call this. Bring him over, brings the halfback in. I'm glad they added this. I think that's so much fun. A lot of teams used that type of motion before in the past. Now you can do it in 26. Again, just really cool. Use it by all means, especially if you got a really good halfback. Doubles Y off weak. We got more return motion. This kind of gets a receiver out in the backfield and moves him back out again. You got a 3-play series there. We got some orbit motion. Every type of motion in the game is probably in here except like that wingback stuff we talked about in the Rice video. Y return mash, so that's just basic Y return, or just more return motion. Got a couple plays there. Let's keep on going. Y off trips. And if you've noticed, this is a really big playbook. Wing trips weak. Do we got any pre-snap motion here? What about trips tight end offset? We got some more return motion. A lot of tight end love in this playbook. You keep on going. Trio Y flex. Now we got halfback motion. This is kind of like the shuffle, but without the shuffle part, if that makes sense. But we've got another tight end mid-screen. I'm going to call that one because it's for the tight end. I know Oregon's got a really good tight end, that number 18. It's really dynamic, so you're going to see just a lot of tight end love in this playbook. But he is not open. Nobody's open. I may get picked off. Yeah, they covered that one really well. I had nobody to go to. Either way, really cool stuff. Let's keep going. Let's see. We got some shuffle, more shuffle. We got meals. We got like a slot dig. We got a slot in. You keep on going. What about bunch strong offset? Guess what? More return. What else is new? Just more motion on top of more motion. Bunch open offset. What about quads? More likely, whenever you come across a quads formation, you're not going to find a whole lot of pre-snap motion. Double stack usually doesn't have it. Stack Y flex. What about spread Y slot? Here we got more shuffle. With the halfback, we got a trail, we got a flood, and we got PA wheels, or just shuffle or a switch, more or less. You keep on going. What about trips? These are your true 4-wide looks. They're not going to have too much motion in them, but we do got a little bit. This is the Oregon playbook. Of course, it's going to have it. We got slot cross, wheel levels, then we got slot curls. Keep on going. We got more halfback swing. You got a motion RPO QB draw. So that's an RPO with a QB draw built into it. There's not many plays like that. I think that's really cool. But then you got the slot screen. I'm going to call this slot screen. Let's see if I can make this look halfway decent. This is meant to go to 40. Again, I would use the coach cam, but it's just going to mess up on me. Nope, went to the wrong guy. Either way, they covered that one pretty well. Just really neat that it's in there. Okay, let's keep on going. We got a couple more formations to look at. I think that's it for this one. Empty bunch wide. Do we have any pre-snap motion here? What about empty base trio? We do not. So if you've noticed, just a ton of pre-snap motion all over the place. Any type of motion you could think of is pretty much in this playbook. We got a couple pistol formation to look at. Pistol house, full house tight. Just it's a 3rd and 4th situation type thing. Goal line. Definitely use that. I'm gonna go ahead and just look through here. We got a little halfback, or I guess a fullback motion, that motion duo if you need it. But this is all about running, as you can tell. Motion power O, I would use this, especially like around the goal line. Let's go up against, like, I don't know, 3-4. That's fine. Let's go. We're going to motion that 34 over, and then you're just really pounding that C gap right there. We're going to get a pulling guard to go with it. You can do some serious stuff there if the blocking's halfway decent. But anyway, that's a good situational formation if needed. We keep on going. We got a 12 personnel look, that one back 2 tight end. We got ace. Then we got wing. You're just move that other tight end over. Then we got wing slot. Then we got Y off trips. So you go back through here. I'm just going to quickly look through some pre-snap motion if there are any. We got some Z motion, of course. That's one we haven't looked at yet, but it is in there. You got a halfback zone. You got a play action on top of that, and you got the power O. So that's a good little mini scheme. You keep on going. Wing slot, jet touch pass, jet, just more jet sweep series. We got 6 plays here. I think that's it for this formation, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Y off trips. Do we have any pre-snap motion here? We do not. So again, just so much motion everywhere, even in some of the pistol. You do got I form tight. Again, use this no different, I guess, than the full house tight formation, just for third, fourth and short, things of that nature. You see here with the 9 plays, it's typical of the same stuff, just basic run play action if you need it. And then we got a couple of wildcat formations. We got jumbo Z weak and then unbalanced. Look at the jumbo Z weak. This one actually doesn't have any motion in it. Most of these wildcat formations do, but this one doesn't. But this is just, again, another situational type of formation, and no different with unbalanced, which is the most popular wildcat formation in the game. And that is it. Oh man. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the formations, just tons of motion everywhere, a lot of fun to be had. But let's talk about personnel really quickly. We'll go down here at the very bottom and start that way. So we got some wildcat. We do got some 4 wide looks if you need it. The bulk of this is going to be 11 personnel, like with most spread playbooks or just about any playbook, to be honest. You do got some 2 tight end looks if you need them, especially from the 1-back sets. 13 personnel if you need to get bigger with it. We also got a 2-back look, but this is not a 2-back offense. You only got one of them in there. There's your clock. You do got I type, but again, that's very situational. And your 23, that's your full house tight if you need it. And that's just your QB nil. So again, this is all about going 3, 4, and 5 wide, but thankfully they included some bigger formations for those rare situations where you need to just get a couple of yards. Let's talk about plays. Finally, let's go to the play type. So this gives you a rough idea of what this offense is trying to do. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more pass than anything else. This isn't a very option-heavy attack. There's only 21 true option plays, but we do got plenty of RPOs. So this will be a big part of the offense to go along with your basic run and pass stuff. I do want to point out a couple, either they got them or not. QB run, we got 8 QB runs in here I think you should use. And now some of this is going to be wildcat based, kind of keep that in mind. But you got a gun empty QB trap, and some of these other, again, it's just wildcat. But I just kind of want to point that one out. That's always important to me. And then you go over to pass, you go to play action. 71 play action plays. That's an absolute ton. So this is very important, along with those RPOs we talked about. And we got 23 screen plays. These are your old school screens, halfback slip, wide receiver mids, flanker screens, things of that nature. So always sprinkle that in when needed. So that gives you a rough idea of what the offense is kind of about. But let's talk about the concepts. Let's start off with the run game. Let's highlight the ones that are the most common. We got 11 counters, which means you should have that much power. Let's go over here. We got 19 power to go with it. So you can run a full gap scheme running attack if you want to. But let's go to the zone. Everybody's going to start here. Inside zone. A lot of your RPOs are going to be built off inside zone. And you should have a little bit of outside zone as well. As you see here, we got 9 of those. I think that is it. We actually got 7 sweep, I think is pretty good. Now, we actually highlighted that double motion halfback toss. If you like toss in general, I'm going to go ahead and call this one right here. You're going to notice a lot of these in these trips and bunch sets. Quads looks, this stuff right here. If you can get to the edge, maybe I can get a touchdown. Yeah, that's a good run either way. Don't neglect the toss plays. And here they call them sweeps in the concept area, but I just wanted to point that out. You even got a couple of traps. Again, you can go zone or gap scheme with this run game if you want to. And we actually got a couple of DIY reverses. I'm not a big fan of these, but they're in there if you need them. Let's talk about the option attack. The basic option stuff, again, there's not a whole lot in here. The bulk of it's going to be your read option, which is pretty typical for Oregon. You do got a speed, a triple, but that's kind of it. Everything's going to be read option if you want to do any type of option in this offense. But let's talk about the RPOs. We got 14 RPO reads, and you'll notice it's all those various motions. You got 8 peaks. Definitely use some of these. And, of course, alert is usually the most popular type of RPO in the game, and it's no different in this playbook. So the RPO game is very important, to say the least. Your quick game, your most important ones, or your most common, I should say, is going to be some slant, Some spacing. This is an oddball. You don't see this too often in some offenses, but spacing, you actually have as much as a slant, just like little hitches in a sense. And then you got 10 stick. So you may want to do more stick than anything else. So it's going to be pretty much slant, spacing, and stick for your quick game. Let's talk about the mediums and just kind of pay attention. It's about half the 50-50 for medium and deep. So you got a little bit of everything here. You got 17 choice. So pretty much any option route, they're going to dump it here in this location. 21 curls, your hitches, everything is kind of dumped here. Definitely emphasize that. Let's keep on going. I think we have 10 slot cross. So think wide cross, the air raid world. Very important in this offense. Oregon just runs this absolute ton. 10 is a high number for slot cross. Then we got 33 smash. That's an absolute bunch. Now everybody knows smash is usually the most common medium pass concept in the game, but 33 is a really high number. 7 spot, that kind of goes really well with that spacing we looked at earlier. 7's actually a decent high number for a spread attack. And you actually got 5 Texas routes. So notice how important the halfback is in this offense. They got him moving everywhere on the various types of motion, but they got him doing other things, but they got a lot of just angle routes built into it. 5 is a really high number for Texas, in my opinion. Let's go to deep. 24 comebacks. This is going to be a good compliment to all those curls you're going to throw at. Let's keep on going. We're going to highlight 30 floods. So this was no different than last year's Oregon playbook. Flood was its most popular deep passing concept. You got plenty here. I love flood. It's just really, it's classic. It just does its job really well. You got 19 verticals, so you're going to use this quite a bit. Let's see. We also have 16 shot plays. Most of this is like play action verticals, but not always. Notice it's a little bit of everything here. It's funny how they will label or organize some of these plays in certain areas. But anyway, 16 shots, 9 switches. I do kind of want to point that out. I think 9's a decent number for this type of attack. And then we got 3 wide cross. So that wide cross looks very similar to that slot cross we looked at in the deep passing section. Play action, we already know we got plenty of play action in here, but I do want to point out a couple of the particulars. We got 7 boots. We got 13 slide. So remember that tight end, how important he is, or that slot receiver going out for a jet sweep. It's all this little stuff right here. It's just quick hitters. If you got the time for it, you can go over the top if need be, but it's all about hitting that tight end in the flat. All right, basic screens. We got 17 bubbles. Now, some of this is RPO based, as we looked at earlier, but the bubble screen is super important in this offense. We got 13 flanker screens. That's an absolute bunch. Just any type of wide receiver, usually an outside screen of some sort, they're going to dump it here. We only got 7 halfback slips, so I would do more bubbles and flankers than anything else. And we got 4 mid screens. All right, that's it. This is a great playbook. This may be the most popular true spread playbook in the game. I'm sure there are going to be other ones. The Texas spread playbook is going to be a really good one as well. But you got all these fun formations to fool around with, but you got, more importantly, all that pre-snap motion that looks to be just so much fun. You name it. If you want to test out all the types of motions, which ones you like, definitely pick this playbook. It's pretty much got all of them in there, and I think you'll enjoy it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.